This is Egypt's #1 for hit music, 104.2 Nile FM. Now, Nile FM's Aware with Adham.
Indeed it is, and with me today in the studio is Raphaelle from a very cool initiative called Saffarni. And I'm pretty certain a lot of Egyptian people are going to be wanting, I'm up for traveling. Well, we're going to be talking about that in a matter of minutes.
Egypt's #1 for hit music, 104.2 Nile FM, Cairo. Nile FM's Aware.
Yep, we're here with you. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And with me today in the studio is Raphaelle from a very cool initiative called Saffarni. Now, it's not necessarily what you think it implies in regards to Saffarni. So, Raphaelle, why don't you start off by explaining exactly what Saffarni is as an initiative?
So Saffarni is an intercultural children's program where we take children that don't have access to travel on a simulated travel experience.
Okay, you're going to have to explain to me a little bit more in detail. What exactly do you mean when you say simulated travel experience?
Basically, we go to local neighborhoods and we give children as if a travel experience. They come with a passport, a boarding pass. They go on an imaginary plane, they come out and they're greeted by people from a culture and taste their food, play their games, dance their dances, learn their language. Yeah, and then basically all the fun stuff of traveling. And
so basically visiting a foreign country without really leaving the comfort of your street, so to speak.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really, really cool. But I guess my question here would be why? I mean, why do you think that this intercultural or simulated travel experience is so important?
I feel like traveling is one of those experiences that allows you to really feel a culture from your senses, and it really gets you connected emotionally to the culture because you're feeling it, you're listening to the rhythms, you're eating the food, and I think these are what allow us to see life from a different perspective. And unfortunately, a lot of the world doesn't get to experience the positive aspects of globalization, especially these children that have no contact with foreign cultures at all.
Basically, you simulate a travel experience whereby the person comes in, they have a simulated passport, boarding pass, and they come out of an imaginary plane to be met with real people from that country to expose them to their culture, to their food, their habits, their traditions, etc., etc. One thing that I noticed that you put a lot of emphasis on emotional connection. Why do you put such an emphasis on that? Why is that so important?
I really firmly believe that emotional connections are the only uniting factor. Unless I've actually felt close to you, like we've had a conversation, I've listened to your story, we've eaten together, we've danced together, we've sung together. That's the only time that I can really feel like you're an equal human being, I think. That's what really unites people. It's not like shaking hands or watching someone on the TV. It's actually feeling their presence as a human being and connecting with that. So
no wonder I'm not connected to a whole bunch of people, because I can't dance if my life depended on it, and if I sing, well...
But that's okay, that's okay, and that's fine. And even seeing you sing badly would probably connect us in some way.
Fair enough. Well, again, you put an emphasis on emotional connection. I completely agree. And so, as well, the travel experience itself is so enriching, and it's so rewarding, and it's very educational, dare I say. How did this all start? Why did you decide to do this?
I was really angry. So basically, I was living in Spain, and I was learning about Arabic culture because I was studying the language. I've always been attracted to Arabic culture. I was getting a lot of Arabic friends, and suddenly, through this emotional connection to the Arabic world, I started to really notice the subtle racism, stereotypes, judging by people that actually had never sat down to listen to the story of these people, or they've never even tried their food. They've never sat down and listened and really tried to connect with these people, and yet they have all these judgments. So I thought we really need to create a space where people can just listen to each other, because once you hear someone's story, it becomes really difficult to demonize them. So that's the point.
I guess my question is, how did it start and where is it now, and how did you make that transition?
It started with me alone going to a cultural center in Ardelewa called Artelewa, which has supported the idea as well from its very beginnings. And I thought it would just be me with some kids and whoever's from the culture presenting the culture, and we would just kind of improvise. And slowly I called Tony. I was like, please back me up. I don't want to be alone, And so he came, because it's also facilitating in Egyptian. I'm not Egyptian, so it's cool to have the Egyptian connection. And so my friend came, Tony, and then from there he was like, I love this. And then we were together, and then it started growing, and then people started wanting to volunteer, and it just organically grew. And we did an Indiegogo campaign and raised 4,000 euros, which we have yet to figure out how to use exactly. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but we're trying to make a very strategic plan so that people's money gets well spent. And so now we're hoping that next year we can do it at other organizations, because other people are wanting to have Saffarni in different neighborhoods to touch different kids. The kids we have really really been touched by the experience, so that inspires us.
So basically, you do this at an ad hoc basis, or like, do you have a premise, or how does it work exactly? For example, let's say I'm a kid and I would like to be involved. Do I come to you? Do you come to me? Is there a particular neutral location?
It doesn't come. Well, right now it's been just in Artelewa, as I said, and the kids basically it's just whatever kids show up. But we work on a repetitive basis, so we have to have the idea is to have the same kids coming back for each experience. So you're not just experiencing one country; you're really seeing like a variety of different cultures. But now it's going to depend on like organizations calling on us and saying they want to implement it. So,
what kind of change have you seen in the kids that have been participating or have participated in the program?
That's what's been really inspirational, is to see how excited the kids become about it. The first Saffarni day, we had several children, and none of them knew where to locate Egypt on a map. Now the same kids get so excited about traveling, they come banging on the door hours in advance, like, where are we going? Where are we going? They know how to locate Egypt on a map. They know how to locate all these other countries. They speak a bit of words from these different cultures, and they're actually really curious and really excited. And we had like a graduation ceremony this week where we gave them their own map, because we give them a hint about the country we're going to next time. And I'm like, okay, go find it on a map. And they're like, we don't have maps. And they'd never seen a map really before. So now they each have their own map, and a lot of them are saying they want to continue traveling, and it was really touching. I can tell that they've definitely, like, we've sparked something of curiosity towards the other in them, some positive curiosity where they're really excited about getting to know difference, and they realize that all humans are humans as well, no matter where they come from.
I completely agree, because I've traveled quite a bit myself, and traveling is such a rewarding experience. But what I love about what you said right now is that it's not only that their curiosity about other countries has grew, but also their curiosity about their own. It's not only that they learned to locate the Ukraine, for example, on a map, but they have also learned to locate their own country. Is that one of the objectives, to that when you're exposed to other cultures, maybe you want to learn a little bit, maybe even appreciate your own culture a little bit more?
Definitely, because I think once you recognize that culture is something, if you don't know about the concept of culture so much, then it's really hard to recognize it in yourself. But when you realize that you're coming from your own culture, and that's what allows you also to kind of meet the other in their culture, then you kind of start to appreciate that. And actually, we've done Safarni experiences to Nuba, where they got to met Nubians and got to discover Nubian culture, and we hope to do more of that inside of Egypt as well. But definitely, that's one of the main points about it. And we've also had like Skype sessions with Canadian children that we're in touch with, and the Canadian children were doing the Harlem, what's it called, the Harlem Bronx dance or something?
Harlem Shake.
Harlem Shake, yeah, over Skype with our kids, and our kids were like dancing shabby for them. So this kind of intercultural exchange, and
sweet.
And we want to do our own. We're gonna get the kids to do their own Egypt Safarni day. So like, what is the food that you want to share, and then we'll share it with these Canadian kids, and they'll do an Egypt Safarni day in Canada.
If I'm a person that wants to be involved, if I'm an organization and I would like to have you guys come in and do this for the membership base that I have, maybe, or a school even, how do I get in touch with you guys?
We have a Facebook page, Safarni Workshop. So it's Safarni Workshop.
So it's going to be www.facebook.com/Safarni Workshop.
Exactly, all together, yeah.
And people just send you a message on Facebook, and that's it?
Basically over Ramadan, me and Tony are going to kind of huddle together and decide on our strategic plan for next year. And the hope is that different organizations are going to want to implement Safarni, and we'll be training the organizations to do it themselves, rather than us going around to different places. We want places that really want to learn how to do it and to implement it. I think it's more sustainable.
So basically you're going to create some form of a workshop or curriculum for other people to replicate this model on their own.
Yeah. I mean, with us. I mean, we have to keep growing together and learning from each other, so we stay together. But the idea is, we want to get as many people involved that love the idea.
Best of luck to you. I'm just couldn't be happier with an initiative like that. And you know what? If you are like Raphaelle, working to give back to the community, whether it's traveling, working on spreading awareness about a certain topic, or whatever it is, just giving back to the community, please let me know. Send me a quick email. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing. aware@nileradioproductions.net. Just give me a little brief. And if it is, in fact, that you're giving back to the community, I'd love to have you right here on the show and put some spotlight on all of these wonderful initiatives, just like Safarni. Raphaelle, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
And I please keep me posted with all of all of your next trips. I'd like to be involved as well.
Cool.
That's it for us. That's it from me, though. I'll catch you next Saturday. It's all about giving back to the community. I'm out of here.